Hello, 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 Grand Rising Queens. Welcome back to another episode of When Queens Converse. As always, I am your host, Ashaki. And hey, we got these ladies with us again. Aisha Tyree.
Hey.
Patty.
Good morning.
And Akua.
Yeah.
Hey. Y'all know we like to start this thing off with a spirit. And we got our own personal bartender. Bartender, take it away.
So this week I told the ladies to bring their favorite brunch cocktail, and I don't even know what I have, but something I made up real fast. I have some peach puree in here, a little strawberry puree with some champagne, and I put some freeze-dried strawberries on top. So that's my drink today. What you guys
fancy?
Really good.
Well, I decided to bring a sea breeze because I am a light liquor lover, and this has some good old vodka in it. So I did a sea breeze. It also has a little bit of cranberry juice. I put a little bit of pomegranate juice and a little bit of grapefruit for tartness because I like a little tart. So cheers, ladies.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Aisha, what do you have?
I'm unable to drink, so I'm drinking that good old H2O with a little bit of like on a rocks, you know.
A little lemon in that
well.
thing.
Okay.
I'm unable to drink as well, so I have one of my favorite drinks, which is coffee. It's not my favorite brunch drink, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Just some old coffee, a cup of Joe.
One of my favorite drinks. Yes.
Mine as well. All right, let's get on into it. We got plenty of fuckery. Well, you know we got to start at the top of the show with what we are so tired of talking about. Will Smith slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth.
Him did.
If you did not see it, and I don't know how you didn't see it, because Lord knows it is everywhere. You'd have to be living in a hole. On the Oscars, Chris Rock made an off-color joke in regards to Jada Pinkett about her being bald. And apparently, Jada did not care for that joke, and Will reacted. Walked up on stage in the middle of a live show, slapped the taste out of Chris Rock's mouth, and told him to keep his wife's name out his fucking mouth.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
Him said it.
He said
now,
that.
And he meant it.
I'm sure everybody feels a little bit differently about what happened. But let's just go down the line about what has happened. So about 2 days later, Will issued an apology. Then Chris Rock started his tour. And I believe on his first show, he said, hey, I'm still processing what happened. There have been a couple shows where people have been like, fuck Will Smith. And he's like, no, listen, we're not doing that. He actually had somebody removed. It has been said that, the LAPD came, asked Chris if he wanted to press charges. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. He made a joke like, hey, I just got punched by Muhammad Ali. He has been very lighthearted about it, apparently, at least in front of others. We don't know. Chris Rock's brother, Tony Rock. Well, Tony Rock is pissed the fuck off.
As well as I.
And listen, rightfully so, because if you put your hands on my sister, please know it's going down.
Yes. At that moment, because you wouldn't have had to smack me and get back to your seat.
No,
ma'am.
No. And Will has resigned from the Academy.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So apparently they pay. So you pay dues and fees to be a part of the Academy. So basically, it's there. Yeah, it's like a screen. It would be no different than like the Screen Actors Guild. You pay dues to be a part of that. So he has resigned from the Academy. There will be a hearing. I believe in like 3 weeks. There's due to be a hearing. He has time to basically say, offer up a report of the incident. And he, other than that, he has been really quiet. Other people have had things to say. And I am a little, listen, everybody's so triggered. Jim Carrey was sickened by what happened. Wanda Sykes was also very disturbed by what happened. A reporter tried to ask Mel Gibson, and baby, he shut that conversation down quickly, ended that show, baby. Like, all right, it was good talking to you. See you later.
I ain't in it. My name is Ben, and then I ain't in it.
So the one I was surprised about was Cheryl Underwood. She said that she is now afraid to do stand-up comedy. She wonders if that has given people the right to think that they could just walk up on stage and slap the shit out of them when they say something that they don't like.
They have a personal relationship. That's totally different.
Who has a personal relationship?
Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Yes. I don't see anybody just walking up on stage slapping the shit out of you. Now, that's what security is for under normal circumstances. I don't believe that they had no security ready and waiting for that type of situation at the Oscars, because that ain't something that's ever happened before. But I feel like some of these celebrities are doing a little bit of reaching. But that's my opinion. What do you ladies think?
Who want to go first?
Well, I do know that Chris Rock's tickets have gone. They starting at 40. They went up to 400. So Chris Rock ain't feeling no type of pain. Chris Rock has said, "Thank you. I appreciate all that you've done. I appreciate all your support and all your money." So
ticket sales have gone up. His ticket sales, his show sales have. He sold out.
100%.
I just have a listen. This is his. What's the name of his tour again?
Maybe no.
My ego something.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Listen, I still think it's buffoonery behind that, because it's just the way it played out. All of a sudden, then the title of his tour. If you leave it to me and my crazy thoughts, I believe it was a debt that had to be paid by Will, and he paid his debt, and that's how he had to pay that. I just don't see that happening. Like, what triggered you that bad, Will Smith, that in that moment you snap from a laugh to walking up there smacking the shit out of Chris Rock? But listen,
maybe because he feel like people were laughing at him, he tired of it. He could have just snapped. Like,
no, and I'm saying,
every day.
He could be triggered. I get that. I believe something really triggered him.
I'm sick of that word already too. Triggered.
People always have their thoughts about it, and well, if that was such and such, he wouldn't have did it. If he was that triggered, if you know mental illness and rage, it don't matter who that person is. You don't see a person. It's not, you don't see the person for who they are, is what I'm saying in that moment. All you are triggered and angry, and you want to lash out at that person. I know at some point somebody has always been triggered enough that as a child, you gonna smack the shit out your mother, because at that time it's not your mother, it's a situation. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I think that's the case. Then they were like, well, he should have smacked August Alsina. Listen, that was an agreement they had, an entanglement. Why would he smack the shit out of August Alsina when he
and
was
we don't know what was
happening?
going on with Will at that time. Hell, Will might not even been there. He could have had him another bitch too. So
they just packed that back fully. So it ain't. I mean, that's two different situations,
right? So people always got their comments. Always say what they should have did or could have did, or what. You never know what you're going to do unless you're in that situation and you've dealt with some sort of mental illness, or and being in the public eye in general, and have to always be targeted. That's
stressful, I'm sure.
And stress, you just don't know.
Always testing your
for me to be in the public eye too.
Do I agree with what he did? Absolutely, positively not. Have I been in a situation where I've done what he did? Absolutely, I have.
Patty?
Well, first of all, I don't give a fuck. Let me first start off by saying that I really don't care. Secondly, we all do have an opinion, so we don't really know what happened. I do not. No matter whatever happened, whatever transpired, whatever happened in the past, whatever he going through, whatever Jada said at the moment, I don't care. It does not warrant you from walking up on stage in the middle of a performance on television and open-handedly slapping a Black man. I do not agree with that. There are so many other ways you could have handled whatever happened. If, however, he was triggered and he slapped them, okay, not that the act is done, but this man went back to his seat. He yelled. Like, I just don't agree with any of it. Okay. As far as him, and what I don't also agree with is that he should be punished for it forever either. I feel like as a society, I'm not gonna say I can say our generation, and maybe anybody after us, we have a hard time getting over things and forgiving people for the act that they do. And not saying that Chris Rock should automatically forgive him, but what I am saying is that how long are we going to punish somebody for what they did? You slapped this man. If y'all going to start an investigation, go ahead and do whatever y'all need to do. But as far as him resigning from the academy, that is something that I do not agree with. I don't. I mean, you had an act, whatever punishment.
But that was his choice.
It was his choice. But whatever
this man career, he deserved that Oscar for roles that he played better than King Richard. Let's be real. I love the movie, but he deserved Oscar's way at the pinnacle of the career that he's had. He's won this, what all actors want is that Oscar. And that if you think about the way this played
what role did he do that you think he deserves an Oscar for?
Ali, Pursuit of Happiness. What? Many.
Okay. Was it just a good movie, or do we think he deserved an Oscar?
No, I think he deserved.
I'm just asking. I didn't see neither one of them. I didn't see either one of them. I wasn't interested.
He deserved an Oscar.
I don't like movies like that, so that's why I'm not a big I will watch them. It's just some movies that I just don't want to watch all the time. Like, I don't want to watch Pursuit of Happiness. I heard it was a good movie. I don't want to watch Ali either. Like, that's not
right. But I mean, but if you watch
them, they were great movies. Honestly.
They were great movies, and he deserved an Oscar well before this. It was well deserved before this. He finally wins an Oscar. That is the desire of actors. That's what their career is. I want to win an Oscar for a role that I played. Then he win, and then this happened. And then right before it happened, Denzel says to him, hey, when you get the height of career, it's when the devil shows his head. All of these things that played out like this is just something else that we don't know. So that's all. It's something else happening that we don't know, may never know. And now he can't even be in the public with what he won. He can't.
It overshadowed the whole win.
It overshadowed.
It was just tarnished. Like this is supposed to be your night, and then it's like, nah. It overshadowed. So that's all we're talking about. We didn't even talk about you winning the award because I didn't have won the award after that. Like
the award that they didn't want to give you in the first place because you should have been won it.
And as far as them people saying that they are triggered, I'm not gonna say I can't speak for them, so I don't know what triggers them. There are some things out here that may trigger me, so I'm not gonna say that, and I'm not gonna say they playing off of it either. I don't care. What I am gonna say is it does make you look at people like when they are comedians. It's comedy, so we can get into that as well. I talked about that earlier. There are a lot of jokes that are being said that you're not going to like, okay? There is some joke that is being touched that's going to touch somebody, especially when it deals with some type of illness. That could just be drugs. That could be alcoholism. That could be obesity. That could be anything. And even with her hair, okay? That does not warrant anybody from getting up on stage because if you can't take a joke,
that's why I said it was more to it.
You don't need to fucking be there.
I agree.
When you're talking about generalization, so you're talking about a group of people instead of someone specific. You picked her out, you pointed her out, and you tried to, embarrass her. Now, I think it is a man's job to protect his wife's, whatever, his, her respects, whatever, So I don't disagree. I don't feel that what Will Smith did was wrong. My only question was, would he have that same energy if it was Jim Carrey up there, if it was Jerry Seinfeld up there?
I think he would have.
But why are we making this a racial thing, though? Why is it a racial thing?
I don't think that matters.
Why is it a racial thing?
And if it didn't, then I'm okay with across the board because we like to test celebrities gangster. We like to just say and do and spew all type of hateful stuff. They are human beings just like you and I. They, they piss and shit just like you and I. And because we have elevated them to this, this higher level, we think that they're not human and we can just do and say and poke and punch and they're not supposed to react. That's not fair. That's not fair for them to have to live that life. Now, Did they choose that life? Yes, they did. But you can't expect for people not to have human emotions, human reactions. And yes, in the spotlight, he has been going through a lot, and it seems like he had just boiled over. His cup overflowing. You know what I'm saying? Like he had just had enough, and it did look like a break. But I also agreed with Muffy that there are some things that we do not know about. I think there are some pieces that
I believe that there are some things in the
of.
background. I also believe, hey, comedy is comedy, but there is a certain, when you decide to pinpoint somebody and make them the butt of your jokes in front of all of these people,
he's not the first person that did that, though, right? This is not the first time a joke has been told
it's
about
not,
a person.
Not only did they talk, that was a targeted joke. But listen, when you go to comedy shows, they point out regular people in the audience and target them and make jokes of them.
I think you don't
all
have,
the time.
To me, I believe that as a comedian, if what you got to do is try to look out here in this audience and find somebody to pick on, that you didn't have no motherfucking material. Like, I feel like as a comedian, you should have had some damn material.
Hey, y'all ever watch
material was going to be picking people up out of the crowd to be able to
They do it all the time.
You ever watch Def Jam? They do this all the time when they would come out. If somebody would come in the audience, they would talk about them. It's a fucking joke.
I feel like you don't have no material. I don't give a damn if it was Def Jam, the last comedy, the last laugh, whatever
ridiculous.
It was.
That whole thing's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I'll be glad when it's all through, but of course we had to touch
over it. I'm over it.
Yeah. I'm over it also. All right, moving right along. That's where we at with that. Lee Daniels and Monique. Well,
something else I'm over.
Well, if you didn't know, Monique felt like she had been blackballed out of Hollywood in regards to her starring in Precious. And it definitely seems like she was.
Oh, she was.
And Lee Daniels, she felt like Lee Daniels and Oprah were behind that.
Tyler Perry.
Oprah's a sneaky bitch.
She felt like they were behind that.
Oprah's a sneaky bitch.
Did she feel like Tyler had something to do with it?
Yeah, as well as he.
Yes. Okay, I missed that part. It's been so long ago. But I knew she had definitely said Lee Daniels and Oprah, like outwardly, outspokenly. So, it kind of was funny. So 50 Cent, who behind the scenes, everybody seems to think really highly of 50 Cent and what he is doing for the Black culture and for Black artists, said, hey, I think it was right after Super Bowl, I went to go see Monique live. She was dope as shit. We need to get Monique back in the spotlight. So he started like openly, of course, on his social media saying, hey, we're going to get Monique back in the spotlight. She was funny. She did a good show. You know, that shit that happened shouldn't have happened. Lee Daniels, Oprah, y'all owe her an apology.
Yeah.
Well, Lee Daniels came on stage and stand out and he apologized to Monique. They have ended that feud that started with Precious. He apologized to her on stage at one of her shows. And now she will star in a Netflix thriller titled Demon House, where apparently Octavia Spencer, I believe, was not able to perform. So they have casted her. They have casted Monique in that role. So do we feel like she's been blackballed and that, 50 Cent? Yes, we do. Everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt, yes.
And all that woman wanted was an apology. And it's so hard. It took all of this for you to get your country ass up on that stage and just give her a fucking apology because you were wrong.
But that also speaks to the power that you had went down. The power that 50 has in this, that's what that speaks to.
And they need to give him his props, before he starts some shit with their ass again.
Yeah, Snoop spoke up. Snoop spoke up and said, hey, as a Black man, what 50 Cent is doing, I am all for. I give him all type of props. Yeah. He is putting out these shows. He is getting these Black actors. He's pulling these people out from, out here, some of them off the street, not off the streets, but not well
giving them a chance.
But then
what he's doing is what Tyler Perry tries to do. It's what I'm saying. Let's be real. Tyler Perry always pulling out the people.
And Tyler Perry doing it too. Yeah.
No, he is, but 50 is doing it on a whole nother level where he's giving these people a continual paycheck. He's giving these people continual spotlight. And Tyler Perry does the same thing. They're just on two different levels. If you're gonna respect Tyler, you definitely better respect 50.
Yeah.
Definitely got to respect 50 people. They hate
and put some
speak
respect
his
on
mind so
Monique's
much.
name, Dad.
Put some respect on that black.
I've been following Monique for years. And I actually love her. Like, I never gave up on Monique. I hate that she went through that. I hate that they did that to her. It's just to let you know the power that people got and how they're easily influenced.
The reality of it is that everything happens when it's supposed to.
And everybody jumping on the bandwagon.
Time to shine, and you know.
Because listen, that role she played in Precious. Come now, she played the fuck out of that role.
Oh, she got an Oscar for that though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
nothing. And then what was she in after that?
Nothing.
All right. So then you ain't got to ask if she blackballed. Yeah,
we're gonna look her up and see what her filmography looks like. I think she was in something after that. I mean, it was something small, but I think she was.
It must have been something minute, something that we definitely missed.
But iPad it.
All right, moving on. Representation in the NFL.
I don't
all 32 NFL
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Are required to hire a woman or a minority in offensive coaching positions for 2022 seasons.
All right, ladies, y'all
don't agree with that. Okay.
I don't agree with it because when they threw the woman in there, and I'm all for black women, but let's see how many black women they put in there. When they put the woman in there, they're going to put them white women in there, the most protected species in the whole wide world. I just want to see how it plays out. That's all I want. I want to see how it plays out. I got to see. Because what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Is this a response to the lawsuit?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
I just got to see how it plays out. Because I'm all for women in general taking these roles. But listen, that's not what we asked for. They never give us what we asked. They give us crumbs. They give us crumbs. We got these, let's be real. We have these very professional, educated, talented black men who deserve to be head coaches already. What are we looking for? Put them in
say minority
right there waiting.
Well, minority could be Hispanic, baby. Minority.
That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Minority Ukrainians, they coming in.
Crumbs on the table. They do the word minority and women in there and want us to shut the fuck up. That's what they did.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it.
They're trying to stick a pacifier in your mouth and say, "Hey, shut up, be quiet, suck on this."
That's all I'm saying. That's why I don't like it.
I don't
get it out.
That's me.
Why don't you agree with it?
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I can't really speak my point right now to why I don't agree. I just don't agree with it. I think it's just a time and place for certain.
I think that if it was done correctly, it would be a great thing.
Why do we have to give the women these certain roles? Why did we have to put a woman in these certain roles right here? Why can't they just apply? And if they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
Well, let's be real. Here's the reality of it. Women have probably been applying and they have not gotten it.
They're not going to get it.
Football is typically
just like
a boys' club.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about women. Let's be real. We talk about white women. There are white. That's what. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. How many white women have applied? We don't know, but I guarantee you, they got more. If they did get their application got looked at, it was looked at way longer than Shanique was.
Maybe so, but I'm sure that women have applied. White women, black women, women in general. I'm sure the minorities have applied. I mean, you have black coaches in the NFL, but go ahead and apply. I don't think you're gonna get on because you don't have no damn experience, and because you're a Tom Brady fan. But go ahead and try.
How many black coaches are there?
That I do not.
One right now.
One. I said one. Yeah. So you say they got hired? It ain't like
everybody else got fired.
One like that, so I don't know. That's crazy.
Who's the black coach? Who's the one black coach? The one guy
for the Steelers.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Everybody else got fired.
Hmm.
So they're supposed to be bringing one in. Who I think is it a black coach? The Dolphins or something might be getting one. I don't know. But everybody else got fired, and Tomlin is the last man standing. And if his Steelers don't do shit this year like they didn't do shit last year, he's out of here too.
He'll be out of here too. All right, moving on. Well, Black China.
Oh, she got her kids today.
Well, baby, she got her kids today. Black China went on social media and said that she had to get rid of 3 of her vehicles just to stay afloat. Just to stay afloat and pay her bills and, take care of her household.
What you need 3
Here I am with 1 vehicle.
I'm like, well, what you need
got 3 to get rid of.
Vehicles for?
She got 3
her baby daddy
vehicles
said,
to get
"Bitch,
rid of." Yeah, she got 3 vehicles to get rid of.
She should be paying them child support if what they saying is
Wait a
real.
minute, hold on. You're getting ahead of me.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, sis. So she went online and said she had to get rid of 3 vehicles to be able to stay afloat and take care of her family because she don't get any child support from her 2 baby fathers. Her 2 baby fathers who are, now these are not her words, these are mine, who are potentially wealthy men. I don't know what Tiger got going on. I'm sure he got a check.
He get a little one head every now and then.
Yeah. He probably got a check. But of course, Rob Kardashian is one of her baby daddies. And, we know he's sitting on long money because he's sitting on mama's and sis's money and daddy's money. But anyway, so she went online to say that. Well, Rob came back and said, child support. I paid $37,000 in tuition and all of Dream's medical expenses. And I had her from Tuesday to Saturday. Why would I pay child support?
Why?
You is a weekend mama.
Well, then Tyler came.
I wish I could be a
said,
weekend mama. Shit.
I paid $40,000 in school tuition. I handle all of King's medical expenses, and I got him from Monday to Saturday. Why would I pay child support?
Say why. Ask me why.
Ma'am, you got 1 kid 2 days, and
you should be paying child support.
So you on 1 day, you are
the
a
audacity.
full-time mom.
That's one thing she got.
Audacity.
Is the fucking audacity to get on social media and post some shit like that. Man, what?
And she about to take Chris back to court. Now I do hope she wins that. I hope she wins that case.
To court.
I hope she win that case.
You talking about blackball? She feels that Kris Jenner and the Kardashians blackballed her show and got
I feel that way too.
Canceled.
I don't know nothing about the show.
I feel that way.
They had a show. Her and Rob had a show.
And that
Chris
didn't like that.
Rob was shed in, and honey, before you knew it, that show was gone, honey. And Angela feels like that was because of them Kardashians, so she is suing them. But on that other note, sis, cut it the fuck out.
Let's call another spade a spade. Sis, you finagled your way to be a Kardashian to get back, and then so you're getting what you deserve. If you want to play a game, you need to pick the hand you're gonna play with. And one thing you should learn is not to play with the motherfucking Kardashians, and that's what you tried to do, and they burnt your ass up. So
I hope
shut
she
the fuck
win.
up.
Well, I hope she win the case.
For what? For
I
what?
don't like the
You hope
Kardashians.
she win.
She don't deserve it though.
I don't disagree.
I want her to
they
get a
did
payout.
actually do that, she does deserve to win. Rob willingly went on that motherfucker show. If it showed him in the
And
bad
he
light,
willingly fucked and had a baby.
He wanted to be showed in. That's on Rob. Rob is a grown-ass man. They baby the fuck out of Rob. But on the other side of it, this shit with these kids, bitch, you're reaching. That's a joke. You ain't even a weekend motherfucking parent.
No.
Bitch, now you showed your ass on that. Now that's ridiculous. Now you need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
All right. Guess that's over.
You got
moving on.
Guess
we are not
that's
agreeing
over.
on anything today. You know that?
That has upset me.
We're not
Moving
agreeing
on.
on nothing today.
We can't. Tracy Braxton. All right. So we didn't get to cover this, but of course, as you know, in March, we lost Tracy Braxton. She's not the baby because Tamar is the baby, but one of the Braxton sisters. I don't know where she falls in there, honey, because there's so many of them. But Tracy Braxton, we lost her at the age of 50 to esophageal cancer. So that was a really big blow for them, I'm sure, because, they're sisters, and while sisters get into it, and I've seen so much negative commentary online about, they treated her so bad and blah, blah, blah. Well, we don't really know what went on. These are sisters, and, sisters get into it, and you looking at a snippet of their life on TV. But they were very hush-hush about this. I had no idea that she had cancer. She's not Tamar, she's not Tony, so she doesn't really stay in the limelight. So her missing from the limelight didn't really come on my radar. But she had been battling esophageal cancer for the last year, and she passed. There is a little bit of
that's sad.
Drama, of course, in regards to her husband and the sisters and the mama. He says that they are treating him like a deadbeat. They are saying that he is using Tracy's name basically to get some attention. He threw a funeral for her. Apparently, the sisters, the mama.
Wait a minute.
He planned the funeral.
Just a celebration of life.
When they be having these anyway, they had a funeral. There was a funeral for her. But her family is saying that was against her wishes. She did not want to have a funeral. He is saying, hey, I spent the last year with my wife. I know what she wanted.
Yeah,
let it go.
They did not show up to the funeral. They didn't show up.
None of the
sisters or the mama showed up to the funeral because they feel like that is not what she wanted, that he went against her wishes. And they say that her father, and I think her brother did show up briefly. And then the sisters and the mother quietly had a private memorial for her on April 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess my question is, who's in charge? Not so much who's in charge, but
the husband.
The husband.
That's
your husband.
I agree.
At the end of the day,
I mean, you ain't got to agree. Legally, the husband is a person.
And you don't have to go.
Period. It don't matter.
Right, this is what I'm saying. They always say marriage is just a piece of paper. This is why you get married. Because in situations like this, not your mama, not your kids, your husband is the person who makes the final decisions. And if that's what he wanted to do, whether it was her wishes or not, if that's the way he wanted to send his wife off or whatever you want, let him do that. If y'all disagree, then don't go. Do exactly what y'all did. We should not have even known about this.
I agree. I feel like it's tacky. We should not have known. Mm-hmm. Now, he's the one that's speaking out. They didn't say shit.
Whoever's speaking out.
We try to keep it close to the cup. I've realized that with them. They try to keep their shit close to the cup. He's the one that spoke out. I don't know why he chose to spoke out. Maybe maybe he was hurt.
He probably was hurt that they didn't come to the funeral, I'm sure.
Right. He's the one that chose to speak out. So, I agree. At the end of the day, listen, we've been through this. Aku and I have been through this. At the end of the day, my father was married. His wife was there. Now, thankfully, there was no bad blood and we were able to work together. And she basically said, hey, y'all do what y'all want to do.
Y'all do it.
Yeah, y'all do it. But of course, we had people in the background who didn't agree with what we did. So, but the reality of it was his wife gave it to us. So we handled it. So, I just feel like that type of stuff is tacky. I feel like, this woman is.
But it's common. It's tacky, but it's common.
It's
very common when people don't have their affairs in order.
Yeah,
and that's the key word right there. The key phrase: get your affairs in order and make it known what you want.
In order.
I agree.
Y'all gonna wear black to my funeral, though. I want y'all to know.
Speak about what they think they feel is best. So even having your affairs in order don't mean a lot.
Now, if you have a will in place, then you have to follow that will. If in my will I say I want my mama to do this and not my husband, or I want to give this money to my 2 children and not my other 2 children, you know what I'm saying?
Legally.
You can dictate exactly what it is that you want for your end of life.
You can, but you cannot. It's still in that regard. Even if she had all that in place, she could not have stopped the husband for still giving him having that funeral. He still could have had that funeral. She couldn't have stopped them from having them. Those things you cannot stop. Those things going to happen.
What I'm saying, so yes, he could. I mean, you could have had a funeral without a body.
Yeah, you could have.
I mean, yeah, just like they did a memorial. Yeah, you can do those type of things. But I'm saying, if that's what she had, then he could not have done the funeral with no body.
I don't know.
Period. Yeah,
that. Well, listen, I want y'all to wear black to my funeral. And do not let nobody come to my funeral with no jeans on. I don't want them rest in peace t-shirts. Do not Photoshop me in no clouds. I want a nice, classy funeral. I want you hoes to have on black.
Not Photoshop
black
with no
gloves, black stockings, black patent leather shoes.
I'm not
black
wearing that.
pants and veils.
I will not have on no patent leather, but the rest of that
Black
I
hats
can.
and
I can.
Yeah, I
want
y'all to be decked.
I want y'all to
like
wear
that.
gloves. I
Fascinator.
want y'all to wear some satin
Yeah,
gloves.
whatever
I
that
have
is.
no patent leather shoes.
And I mean it. Do not let nobody come my shit with no funeral. I mean, with no
And
with
what
no
you would like
jeans
us
on.
to do if they show up with jeans on?
I want you to act like Will Smith.
Say something now.
Get your ass out of here. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not.
All right.
We're not even having this conversation.
Oh, I don't want no
Lord.
button. Don't give me no buttons yet. I don't want no buttons.
Moving on. We're not having this conversation.
Okay.
And this is what's wrong with people. Y'all supposed to have it when y'all good and healthy.
These are my final
You know what I'm
bitches.
saying?
Hell,
You
don't
don't
be
take the time to have it. Not when
This
this
is
show.
the best
We're
time
not
to
going
have
to talk about this
You
shit.
never
We
know.
got it on tape what she
Do
wanted. So
that.
if we need to pull it out, we can. If we need to pull it out, we can tell Corey.
She said on this
is
tape,
what
on
your
this day.
mama wanted.
Put your
We
black
got it on tape.
Mhm.
All right, moving on. Okay,
This
y'all.
burn me up like a Viking.
Hey, do me like I want a good old Louisiana style
Up
going
and
away.
Do you mean
You
like you was going to do this Zoe,
You
bitch?
go up in flames. We gonna put you on the little thing and put you in the water. Oh,
I
girl.
was best friend. You know I will. If that's what you want, I will give you a Viking funeral.
But God,
Because you know,
this do you mean like you was going to do Zoe?
I'm
Throw me in
planning
the
my
trash.
next Viking funeral. I am planning my next Viking funeral anyway. I'm prepared. We're gonna have to sit down and talk about that going away.
I want to turn up
Okay.
after mine. I want y'all to turn up after
I want
mine.
karaoke.
I want y'all to get the 6-foot speakers and I want you to get live in that thing.
Karaoke. And y'all gotta do my favorite karaoke song.
I'm gonna just bust out with my mic singing "Solid as a Rock" and Muffy thing. They gonna be like, "Why is she doing this? This what she wanted.
This was what I wanted."
You'll be like that woman that's
for
in front of her sugar daddy casket. Ow,
Each
ow.
mistake. I'll be like, "Turn up, y'all." They gonna be like, "Sit down."
Yes, ma'am. I have already told. I have told Aisha. I have told Akua. I'm telling y'all, don't y'all let me be nowhere looking silly with a wig crooked.
No wig.
That is not.
Ooh,
Not.
I'm gonna do your hair. I'm gonna do a roller set.
No, thank
No, man.
you.
Have you in there looking dead?
No, thank you.
It's gonna be bouffant.
No, thank you. Put me in a bad-ass black dress. And I want
Yeah.
my second
I don't want to be in
line.
black.
I'm going to Rainbow.
Down.
Get you a black dress.
No black.
You sister, you ain't got to worry about that, honey. You know I got you. You will not be
Thank
having
you,
no
sis,
goof
because
on
Muffy
or
is trying
no
to have me in
rainbow
pink.
attire. Okay.
I want y'all to second line down them Louisiana streets, and then
Yes.
I want
Blink
to be cremated,
and
I
bling
want
out
y'all
my
to go on a
casket. I want my casket blinged out.
You want us to go on a cruise and scatter you? Is that
scatter
what you
me
doing?
in the ocean, baby, so I can continue to travel this here world. That's what I want.
I do
Okay?
want to be cremated, though. I want to be cremated.
I do. I want to be cremated. After y'all carried me down, after this horse carried me through them streets of
Do
Louisiana.
not give St. Peter's Cemetery none of my money.
Jiggling. Jiggling. Get your good fan.
I'm gonna stop and get me a drink on the way while I'm shucking and jiving down the
That's
street.
fine. You won't find no
over here in
grocery
tears
store out where I
today.
live, so.
I'm not doing none of this. Let's move on.
Muffy don't like this conversation. She said, move on.
Moving on. Y'all know we get sidetracked. Tiffany Haddish. Well, Tiffany checked the shit out of a reporter, didn't she?
She should have.
She said, this is what success look like, boom.
Listen, if you came from the struggle that she came from to get to where she is right now, then put some motherfucking respect on her name.
Her name.
Period.
Now, let me say this. I do not believe that the reporter meant any harm. Listen, she knew.
She gonna learn today.
She wasn't disrespectful to that reporter.
No, she wasn't.
Was being her regular self.
I think she had smoked her a little something before. Had a little cocktail or something.
She said, "Oh, you got a costume change."
She was like, "Oh, I see you had a costume change." Tiffany read back and said, "This is not a costume. This is Dolce and Gabbana." I did not rent this. I bought this. This is what success looks like. This is what money looks like.
And listen, she is a comedian, so that probably was all. Listen,
she's a comedian now.
And that's what listen, let me finish it. We don't even know how to draw the line with what is comedy, what is real, what we just don't. That's the point I'm trying to make. this lady is a comedian. She could have very well just been funny because that's how she interacts with most people. If you ever see her, is in that light. But everybody gonna take it.
No, I don't think it was blown out of proportion.
That's how I took it.
You took it what? Of course you did. You always take it the opposite of everybody else.
And did.
If you know us, welcome to Patty.
If I'm ever on the red carpet, I'm gonna correct you too, sis.
Not controversial. Put some respect behind this ain't no costume. This is Dolce and Gabbana. Put some respect on my name. I bought this. It was, a lot of times people when they go to like big,
they borrow.
They borrow.
Yeah.
Sis said, "No, I didn't borrow this. I bought."
I'm gonna be borrowing.
What
too.
black excellence?
I'm be borrowing too because I don't want to pay all that money for something I'm gonna wear one time.
Right.
I'm gonna borrow it too, and I'm gonna give it back to y'all. The tags will still be inside because I can't care. I don't want this no way. Okay, I got too much shit in my closet now. All right.
But that's the stuff. She looked amazing.
She did. She looked.
I didn't like it.
Girl,
you did.
No, I didn't like it.
Of course,
no.
Did.
I like her hair. I loved her hair. I did not like that.
She looked amazing.
Yeah, okay. She did. I liked the dress. She looked pretty. She did. I'm not a fan of her hair. She's still giving me a little Morgan Freeman, but
I liked her hair.
Did like that dress.
I liked her hair. Her dress.
I not like Jada's outfit either. She looked
Jada slayed, ma'am.
She was fire.
She slayed.
I didn't like it.
Jada was fire, baby.
Jada slayed, honey.
Oh,
her bald head ass didn't look good to me.
Let me say something.
Right, you about to get your ass smacked.
Yeah, come on,
go to commercial. Go to commercial. I've been waiting to say that the whole show.
We are going to thank our sponsors. We'll be back.
Thank you, sponsors.
Today's sponsor, Personally Yours, a custom vinyl press printing design company that specializes in making it personally yours. From t-shirts to drinkware and everything in between, let us make it personally yours. You can find us on Instagram under Personally Yours.
All right, we are back. And we are back with Black in America. So in Black in America, I wanted to discuss this topic. And it's funny because we talked about the game the other week. And so now here we are talking about him again in a comment that he made. It's a little long, a little lengthy, but I want to read it so that we can get the full grasp of what he's saying. And of course, it follows up this Will Smith thing. But anyway, it says they didn't even want to give it to him in the first place. He acted off impulse and imposed a slap down out of frustration and embarrassment on behalf of his wife. Most people with opinions on the situation don't have a committed relationship, let alone a marriage of 20 years to weigh against his feelings in the matter. He's human, and comedy is not always an excuse to publicly humiliate people, especially while sitting front and center. Although violence anywhere is and should always be depicted in a negative light, this was just a little ass slap in defense of a woman battling a very delicate health issue. I'll close by saying they don't want us to be equal, never have and never will. This is the part I really want us to discuss. This fool, well, not this part, but this fool Alec Baldwin took a woman's life on set and got sympathy from the same Hollywood that is trying to condemn one of our greatest actors in history. It just so happens that he's Black. Harvey Weinstein didn't have to forfeit any accolades or awards, and Roman Polanski was guilty of having sex with a minor and then vanished, became a fugitive, and was still given an award. Unrelated to Hollywood, but still an example of white privilege, Kyle, whatever the fuck his name is killed, has killed people purposely and didn't get a single day in prison. But y'all investigating a pimp slap? We ain't gonna ever wake up. And really behind closed doors, they're all laughing at our Black asses. Because lo and behold, they probably wrote the joke in Chris's prompt and set them both up. Oh, and 100 years after Emmett Till's gruesome hanging, the now president signs an anti-lynching law. So what that means for the other 100,000 plus lynchings done before them and along the way. They weren't illegal. Stop expecting them to ever view us as humans too. We way too nice. nuts how we got billionaire Black folks and can't come together and create other bigger platforms in addition to what we already have that really gives us the true glory that we deserve, maybe next lifetime. So listen, I chose that because I often wonder, are we embarrassed by the Will Smith thing because white folks was there and it was on TV? Are we asking to be included in places that we could create for ourselves?
Yes.
What is it about us that feels like if it's white, it's right?
Well, we've been brainwashed for hundreds of years. What do you mean? That's why
I would have been killed off.
That's what's been beat into our heads.
Okay. Yeah.
And also, we want to be. If we can win an Oscar on the white, we feel like we have accomplished something. Because
and that's my question. Why is that the pinnacle? Why is that?
I don't know. For
years
we have been saying
money, more exposure, more opportunity.
They don't act like this about the NAACP awards and
they don't
all
even
these,
show
like,
up. They don't show up.
They don't even show up. They don't make it seem like that. Listen, Ricky Smiley has always said, I don't ever have to win an Oscar, but if I win an that's the pinnacle of my career. And that always stuck with me because that's what we should think. Because why can't we be accepted on listen, we are Hollywood. And
Will Smith is the 5th Black man to win the Oscars for Best Actor. The 5th?
That's it.
The 5th. Are you kidding me? As many great actors as we've had, as much
Don
as
Cheadle,
you know what I'm saying? We
Chadwick
take over the
Boseman.
entertainment
It's so
industry.
many that I felt like had roles that were deserving.
Listen, I love Lawrence Fishburne. If Lawrence Fishburne,
Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
they gave
I'm still mad about that. That's probably why I'm mad at the Oscars. They gave this man an honorary Oscar. No, he deserves to be in the competition.
We've got to stop asking and hoping and wishing and praying that the white people will allow us into their doors, and they're going to start, you know what I'm saying, giving us our props, and you know what I'm saying, hey, why when we, like he said, we have billionaires, we have millionaires, we can create these own platforms for ourselves.
Let me just say this. Everybody keeps saying if that was a white comedian that smacked him. No, if that was 2 white comedians that this was a good,
we wouldn't be talking about it.
It wouldn't be talking about it because the first thing they would have said is, you know, he's been dealing with so much. And let's talk about that. Let's not keep saying Will Smith.
And it's so funny because if you've paid attention to Will Smith over the years, he's real cool and composed. This was definitely out of his character.
Will Smith has smacked the shit out of a reporter before.
That kissed him in the mouth. He's
right, that's what I'm saying.
Out of him, for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm saying as a whole, he is real cool and composed. You had to know that this was out of character for Will, so he don't get no pass. But I'm quite sure that if the tables were turned, we would have a man excuses for Billy Bob.
He's been in the industry for at least 30 years.
The man who he smacked is giving him a pass.
Yeah, the man that he smacked.
This is out of his character. I know this is something else. Then who the fuck are we?
Yeah.
I just wonder
we're our own worst enemy, though.
How do we continue to seek validation from people who continuously show us that they really don't give a fuck about us? And not all. Let me be clear.
Like the NFL. The NFL is a prime example. The NFL is a prime example. Damon Dash is creating his own NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they didn't try that before.
They tried doing that with basketball.
But see, we don't support. That's our problem. We got to unite. That's just as simple as it is.
We want stuff. We want stuff, and then when we get it, so for example, we want an award. We want something that just highlight the Black people, right? Oh, we want to highlight something for us. Boom, they give us the BET Awards years ago. The BET Awards to me started off strong, and then it just kind of trickled down, and then it's like people stop showing up, and then people don't care, and it's
they don't get the same kind of love.
It's
they don't
get
the same type of
Awards. It's the BET Awards. It's like this is
not
the fuck y'all want to
but
y'all want to run y'all ass to the Grammy.
I see people get decked out for the American Music Awards, and then you come to the BET Awards with some jeans on. Why?
Half-ass.
even love ourselves. How you expect somebody else to love you?
Our
Don't love your damn self.
All the way. This all on us.
Because
this
we can't show
us.
up. Listen, and let me just say, and this is how I'm viewing it. If we can show up at the BET Awards as who we are and comfortable, and that's how we want to be, because we know we can show up as who we are at the BET Awards. We can't show up as who we are at the Grammys because we won't be accepted for who we are. So we have to get ball gowns and tuxedos just to walk in the fucking door.
That's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit that the Oscars is the pinnacle of your career versus, hey, my people have spoken and they have said that I am the shit.
Well, what I don't want him to do,
award.
Don't try to run back to us now, though.
Blow up,
don't do that now.
I want my BET award. Yeah. We're going to go up in there with our Black Girl Magic. We're going to have matching t-shirts on, Booker.
We're going to have... You know what I hate when Beyonce did her live, when she performed, but it was like, you know how they put it on the screen? Bitch, I didn't come here to watch you perform on the screen. I can watch that shit at home.
Well, she was in Compton. She went to Compton.
She went a couple times, but for a while, she stopped going.
No. I'm saying her performance for the opening of the Oscars
was in Compton.
So that's
I
why
didn't know the lady performed at the opening. She went to Compton and performed.
That's because you don't care for Beyonce. So you try to you gotta.
And that song is
I don't care for somebody. You got to put respect on where respect is due. She could have very well went to the Grammy. I mean, whatever the shit was, the Oscars, and performed on the stage and shuck and drive. But she went to Compton. Why can't she get her accolades for going to the Black community, performing for the Black community?
But why they can't come to the BET Awards though? Why?
And Blue Ivy was up there getting it. Come on, Blue.
I didn't see it. So
that was everything, and that song is the shit.
I didn't see the
cash money shit. I love that song. And it ain't, it's your Beyonce, but baby, that song is the shit.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, a prime example of us tearing down is the prime example what you just said. Why wasn't she there? No, why couldn't she? Why can't she? And I'm not a beehiver. I am not a beehiver. I like Beyonce, but I'm not a beehiver. But I can give her respect where respect is due. I'm going to go into Compton and I'm going to perform in Compton with my girls, and we're going to perform for the Black people. Why can't that be?
We are the ones with the talent. Look at the NFL. Look at the NBA. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Look at the entertainers in the, you know what I'm saying? The actors and the actresses.
We are Hollywood.
We make them come to us.
Yeah,
you're right. Make them come to us. You have
we gotta figure out a way. Instead of saying they ain't gonna do it, we need to start having solution-based conversations. We can talk about what we ain't doing all day long. But we need to start having solution-based conversations.
We're not allowed in the world.
Is it Jay Prince? Did you hear what Jay Prince said?
Yeah,
them people shouldn't even go to. Is it the Grammys coming up? They shouldn't go to the Grammys. We should have.
I agree.
If they pull out of them Grammys, because half of y'all who going ain't gonna get no. They gonna give the award to the same fucking people.
Listen, ain't nobody watching
Lil Nas
and goddamn
Post Malone.
Y'all watching the same people. Black folks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I want to see some Black people
because we're not allowed in the rooms where these decisions are made. We got to create our own room.
When you hit them where it hurts, which is in their pockets, then that's when you get results. That's what language they talk. And if we talking about our feelings and I wish you could tell me.
We're too emotional. We too fucking emotional.
We're too freaking emotional. Be strategic. Hit them in their pockets. Economic empowerment is what we need.
Yes.
I agree. All right. Well, that's our thoughts on that. Moving along. We're going to
Speaking of, I need my 18% to the church.
It went from 16 to 18. I'm getting out of this church.
Inflation.
We're going to thank them sponsors. We'll be back.
Thank you, sponsors.
All right, we are back. And we are talking in love and happiness this time, long distance relationships.
Oh, honey, it didn't work for me.
It didn't work for you. All right, long distance relationships. So, that is a part of love and happiness. And we talk about long distance relationships and what we think it takes to make those work. So, I know that the idea in 2020, it was like online dating skyrocketed. 2020, 2021, because of COVID and all of these things, supposedly you couldn't go out. It didn't stop me from going nowhere, but, I was steady catching flights, but, you couldn't go out. You were supposed to be in and, quarantining and all of that. So online dating skyrocketed. And if you have ever been on an online dating app, they give you a circumference, basically, like, hey, within 50 miles, within 200 miles, within 5 miles, whatever the case may be. I have never been one to say, because I may or may not have been on a dating app, maybe. But if I had been on a dating app, I have never been one to say, hey, within 5 miles of me. I don't like it. I like a little bit of distance. That's me. I'm not against a long distance relationship. Ladies, are you all against long distance relationships? Patty?
I'm going to say I'm against it for me, but that's because I require a lot of attention. I need to be like right here. I want to touch you. I want to be with you. I just know long distance does not work for me because my attention span is low when it comes to that. So, if I have too much time on my hand, I'm going to be focused on something a little closer.
Okay. Aisha?
The same way. I mean, I don't mind somebody who travels and goes and does things. I do like my own space from time to time, but I do need attention. Quality time is my, love language and physical touch. So, I need, I need that interaction and, because, squirrel, what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Just to be
honest.
I know
so much that the FaceTime gonna do for me. I'm not a FaceTiming person. I mean, I am, but like, how many times we gonna FaceTime?
My husband and I, we live in St. Louis. I live here, but it was a 3-hour drive. It wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? We could hop on that highway, you know what I'm saying?
I can do that.
We did it a couple times a week. So,
Aisha?
Not too far.
Yeah.
Apparently it works for me. I'm like forward, but it's not like very long distance. He's in Philly, I'm in Bmore. We see each other basically on the weekends, sprinkled in the weekdays every now and then, but it works.
Right.
Because
it depends
on your lifestyle, because if you're busy, you don't even have time. And I don't really like during the week. It's go from the time I get up to the time I lay down. So in between that, I ain't got much time to be touching and talking anyway. So it works.
Okay. So I looked up long distance relationships and how you make long distance relationships work for my own personal reasons. Nonetheless, one of the things says communicate regularly, but don't overdo it. So I think that the key to and I agree, of course, communication is key in any relationship. But I think that when you are in long distance, you tend to overdo it a little bit. Just because some people, not all, some people tend to overdo it a little bit just because, and especially in the beginning, because, you want to be there, but you're not there. And so I want to tell you what happened and I want to tell you about my day. And, you find yourself on the phone all damn day long. And I think that sometimes you can overdo it a little bit. You have to find that good balance between the two. Sometimes, you don't communicate enough depending on your lifestyle. Some person, one individual may work nights and another individual may work days and I'm sleeping you up. And, you can't really find that balance. So one of the keys is, of course, to communicate regularly.
I like to talk all the time, by the way.
You what?
I like to be on the phone all the time with the person here. But like, not that long distance thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Trust. Trust is a fundamental element of all relationships, but especially in a long distance relationship. You know, the reality of it is that you have to be able to trust the individual that you're with, and trust that, you know, they are moving in the same way that you're moving, that you all have the same ideals in mind in regards to, hey, what do we do? Are we in a relationship or are we dating? You know, if we're dating, are we free to see other people? You know, those type of things. You have to have trust, and you have to trust that the individual who you're dealing with is also on the same page as you, and that you all are in agreement with, you know, how things are going to go. You can't be insecure in a long distance relationship. It's going to drive you crazy. Mm-hmm. It's going to drive you crazy, you know, because you can't expect, just because you're not there for a person, to sit in the house all damn day to make you feel comfortable. So trust is key. Mm-hmm. You have to set clear expectations. So how long we gonna do this? A year?
What are your 2-year goals? Yeah.
How long we gonna do this? Is it our plan to do this indefinitely? What's your max?
2.
We grown now. Shit. We ain't no motherfucking kids no more.
2 years max. If you were in a long distance relationship, cool. What's your expectation, your time expectation on to how long before this can work? Before we got to be skin to skin.
I would say 2. It was a year for Trevor and I. So, but I would say 2 would be my max though.
Okay. Booker, you're not 2 months.
No, I mean, but if I did, so like I was
about to say 2 months ain't gonna work for you, huh?
No, it's not going. I mean, but if I was a person who was. If I was a person who was committed, and this is something I really put my heart into, which I'm not, but I really put myself into there. I mean, I would say realistically, I would give it 2 years. That's what I think too. I'm 42 years old right now. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to waste the rest of my life. I actually had this discussion with my son's father, by the way. Just a side note, we were talking about his wife and him and his wife when they got together. I was telling him, I was like, you need to go home and have a conversation with her and see where her head is at in the next 2 years. And he was like, 2 years? 2 years. I said, this lady is in her 40s. We all in our 40s at this point. I don't have 5 years to waste on something that I'm either, you know, at this point, either you know or you don't. I don't have 5 years to waste. I do, however, have 2 years to give it a shot. So you need to ask her, what is her 2-year plan? Because if you don't know in 2 years, something will shake you down.
I do, however, have 2 years to give it a shot. I like that one. I do have 2 years to give it a shot.
That's being realistic.
I mean, listen, realistically, a year flies.
Fly me out time.
You don't think it does, but it does. Happy anniversary to Philly and Muffy. A year flies by really fast. Before you know it, a year has come. Happy anniversary, somebody else.
Happy anniversary. Yes.
You know, so, you know, it flies by pretty fast. You don't know.
Yeah.
I think a year, anywhere between a year is when I start talking about, okay, hey, what are we going to do? Yeah. Are we going to continue to live separately? Or are we going to, hey, I find myself in a new situation. So, you never know.
2 years.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. Another key point, do fun things together. Watch shows together, keep things fun, keep things light. You know, Netflix has created this thing where we can stream things together. Listen, this is a relationship, but it's not a relationship. But Aisha and I, we watch shows together. Listen, I'm talking about down to the point to where we be like, okay, play. We watch shows together. We keep our shit interesting. We do shit together because, hey, this is my best friend and she's elsewhere. And so, you know, this is a relationship that I care about. It's not an intimate relationship. Well, it is in certain ways, but not in the way y'all think it. It is intimate because intimacy does not always mean sex. Yes. Yeah. And, you know, I cultivate that. Sometimes we have things that we love together, and it's typically certain shows. And so we watch those together because that's important to us. Yeah. So, you know,
you just said something very interesting. So you just said, like, it is a relationship.
It is.
So all 4 of us are somewhere different. But we have to make it work no matter what. If you're gonna make it work in your relationship, in your friendship, you make it work in your relationship. If that's what you want, we want these friendships. We want to, nurture one another. What did I tell y'all? Hey, can I see y'all every couple of months? I don't have to see you every month, but it is important that I see you maybe every couple of months, or I try to find some time for my friends. So it is. I mean,
listen, I don't try to let too much time go in between me and my sister.
Yeah,
I don't have no desire to live in Indianapolis, but there are moments that
although I have tried to get her multiple times. I don't have no desire to live here in Indianapolis, but hey,
and that's what I keep
both here together.
You don't even want to be there. Why you want me? You don't even want to be there, man.
I'm ready to figure out how I can get up out of here.
Yeah, I'm like,
you ain't got too much time left.
There are definitely moments that I wish, because we used to live right around in the same damn subdivision. So, I like having that access to my sister, but life brings about change, and we both are in our careers, and that's just not our reality right now. Of course, I would love to be closer to Muffy, and I'm the closest to a cool, but Booker's not that far behind, but you make it work. We schedule trips, we do things together, we make that work. And I think that's the same thing with an intimate sexual relationship.
If it's something that you want, you're gonna figure it
out. You're gonna do what it takes. You're gonna do what it takes.
You're gonna do what it takes.
And my last tidbit is get intimate. Flirty text.
That's my favorite one.
Suggestive photos and more. I like to take a good old pic and send it.
Dig into that private folder in your phone.
Come on.
So let me just tell you, this is what we created a Google number, right? Create a Google number, and we text each other like we don't like we like it's not us.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Okay, little role play.
Let's write that one down. Let's get us a Google number.
I like a little role play too.
Yeah. So we do that.
Fun.
I've been doing a countdown, and I've been sending a little pic every morning on my countdown to the days. And it's a nice little something and instead of sending it to the phone, I've been sending it to the email. So you got to get a little
you have to
out the box to keep things a little soft.
Yeah, you have to.
So, all right, that's what we got. That's our tips on long distance relationships. You got to try to keep it a little light, keep it a little saucy, keep it a little sexy. It can work. Mm-hmm. It's on you all to decide how long you can do that. Hey, I can
2 years.
2 years. That's they max.
2 years.
That's our cutoff.
That's my cutoff.
Yeah. Listen, once I start to like you, I want you. But I got to get there. Unfortunately, I'm the person who has to build up to that missing you situation. So once I build up to that, baby, we gone. We good. We in that thing. All right. That's what we got for y'all today. We will get with you all next week. And remember, when queens converse, that crown may shift. Oh, but it never falls. Y'all be blessed and have the day that you deserve. We love y'all. Bye.
Love ya. Peace.